Today we're going to be talking about 1-point perspective. So I have a little bit of a diagram drawn right here that's going to demonstrate this. So I drew most of it out, but I'm going to add stuff as we go on in the video. I just did this to give me a jump start. So we have this horizontal line that is running through pretty much the middle of the page right here. I have some different colored markers to kind of add some color and to separate some of these terms that I'm going to be talking about. So what I'm going right here is that horizontal line, and I'm going to do that in a green color to make it clear that this is the horizon line, and also that this is like almost we could identify this as the sort of the ground line where it's like grass or land, right? So that's pretty obvious. And then we could say, I'm going to give, I have a yellow marker here. I'll just do a real basic half circle for a sun, which is arching. Well, I guess it's setting. Going down as the day is ending. And we'll do little rays coming out of it. Very elementary, but it's just for terminology, so I'm not trying to draw a perfect sun right now. I'm using symbols to kind of just break down the terms of this 1-point perspective. So then the next thing we could talk about is get the blue marker out here. And so like we have the ground plane here, which is that green, which is our grass and land. And then all up here, we're going to identify with this really messy scribble of blue as there we go, it's a little bit better now, which is going to be the sky area. So this whole line is basically the line that's separating the sky area from the land or ground area is called the horizon line, which is this line right here where the sky meets the land, right? Usually we think of that when we see that on the beach. So I'm just kind of coloring this in. Real messy, but it's just going to get the point across. So there we go. So we have sky, and then we can throw some of that, just this whole area below. So above is sky, below is land. Pretty basic. I'm not going to do the color in the whole thing. I just want to give an idea. Now the next thing we'll do, I'll use this brown marker, and so I have a series of squares, rectangles, this is just a basic square, obviously. Then we have a square / like rectangle combination. Then we have a long kind of rectangular shape here, another smaller square here. So we've covered, sky, land, we have some basic shapes. I mean, these could be clouds, this could be a bird, whatever, just basic shapes, but it's just I'm just keeping everything real simple in the beginning, because we're not trying to like draw anything specific right now. we're thinking of things in basic building blocks as literal as you can get. Um, so yeah, we have our just these floating objects. It could be anything. I mean, right now they're just like blocks basically floating in the sky. And then we have the ones down here, which are are doing kind of the similar thing. Certain ones are different combinations, giving us different shapes basically to work with. But they're all built on, straights, rectangulars, like man-made object kind of thing. And we got a little tall, skinny rectangle here. Okay, and then I'm gonna grab a slightly darker marker here, and we have right in the middle. I'm gonna put this viewer could be here, 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 but basically I'm putting this would be me, or it could be you, or whoever, and this is kind of where they're standing in this field or whatever you want to call it. So this is like the shoulders, their legs, just again, this is just like a symbol for a person, but it's not an actual, realistic rendition. But we're not looking for that for right now. We're just looking for like, just trying to teach you terminology. So if you can imagine, this is like somewhat of a stick figure or like a silhouette of a back of a person, and they're kind of looking and they're watching the sunset, right? And then we have these floating shapes up here. But what's happening is we have our eyeballs are going to be like, right between our ears. So these would be like the two ears. So what's happening is when we look, we're looking up at this because this is above the horizon line and it's above our view. So what's happening is we have to pretend that we have like these imaginary lines that are like, could do like dotted lines that are coming into our vision. So it's like creating these triangular radiating lines that are all going to this one central point. You can almost pretend like you have like almost like a third eye, and these things are like sort of radiating to that third eye, and they're looking up at that. So you're connecting one, two, these 3 points and the fourth point as well, but you're not actually seeing that because that's going behind. And then what you do, so you connect, so you're gonna have a triangular thing here, and then another skinny triangular thing here, and then you can cut with a horizontal to get the underneath, and then you can shade it like this. And then we do a vertical, and then we get the other side. So now we have a box instead of just a floating shape up there. And then we can do the same thing to here. We just draw a radiating line towards this one central point, and then we do a vertical and a horizontal, and then we shade in and shade in, and then we can reaffirm it, outline it. So then we have this blocky shape now, and then we could do the same thing to here, and it's just, again, it's just constantly like a repetition thing. So then again, like, we're looking underneath, so by doing this darker value or shade underneath and radiate, we're showing that we're looking underneath it. Now we could do this one again. We're doing the same thing by radiating lines, just like the sun kind of has like rays, but we're doing that from the center of our vision, and we're radiating out and connecting these 1, 2, 3, 4 points like that, and then we're cutting them off at a certain point. Now you can keep going and you can make them really long, you know, and pick how like deep you want them to go. It's all up to you. And you'll see like they start to, all of a sudden we have these three-dimensional solids versus just these 2D shapes down here. And now this one's like more closer to the, so it's going to be a little bit narrower, a little bit trickier to get. And I'm doing this real messy. Like you could do this with rulers and make it real exact, but I just want to give you an idea of what and 1 point perspective is. We're going to go into 2 point probably in the next video. It won't be able to cover it in this one. So now these are all, you're looking above, you know, you're looking from below and looking up at these things. So you're seeing underneath. Now this stuff is on land, so you're looking below it. So your eye level is above it. So you're looking down at these. So then you just get the side of this and you'd have the top part of it like that. And then again, this point, it's like connect the dots. You just look 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you connect all these points and you drive them all into that 1 point. And like that and that. And of course, like I said, the more the more slower you go, you can get them more precise, but I'm going fast, so I'm sort of just trying to get the point across. And then like that, you know, and I might leave, we can go into like lighting the forms and thinking about light and shadow too, because like this part might be getting light, so you could start thinking about that, and you could put like a yellow light because if the sun's here, it's going to be hitting about here and here, and these are like top planes, whereas this plane's gone away, so it's going to be in shadow. But we could talk about that more later. But for now, I just want to get the point across as like these radiating lines, basically like connecting these points on these rectangular solids. And so, you know, sometimes you gotta slow down and think about it. And then like that, and a little bit like that. So, and then there's this last one. So connect this point, and this point, and this point, and this point, and then shade that. And that's basic. That's real basic, just like a 1 point perspective diagram here. And I can break this. I might even make like a part 2 of this like perspective, 1 point perspective, because there is 2 point perspective, basically, where I'll go into it a little bit here. So like 1 point, there's, you know, a horizon line, and then there's the 1 point, which I don't know if I said it, but it's a vanishing point, which is, you know, in the center of the horizon line, or it could be off center. But on some occasions, you'll get what is called 2 point perspective. Now, all these are in 1 point, and that is because you're seeing the front face of these shapes. Like you're seeing the front face of all these rectangular solids. But if it was 2 point, you'd actually be seeing, let's say this one was above, and I'm just going to start with the corner. You're going to see the corner of it in 2 point perspective. Then you're going to draw 2 triangular radiating lines from that point, this point, and then you're going to go that, and you're going to cross that point like that, and then you're going to shade the bottom, and then you're going to cross and dot your horizontals there, and then one of these could be in shadow, and one of them could be in light. So that would be 2 point, and then there's also 3 point, but I'm gonna kind of end the video here. But that's I think, good enough to get us started a little bit deeper into perspective. I'll try to take a picture of this and post it on Facebook or something. So yeah, and I'll go deeper into it on another video after this.